So I'm just like, fuck me, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm just like, no, fuck you.
We're watching one of the most elegant women in Hollywood completely lose control in public and somehow making it look iconic. Anne Hathaway walks onto red carpets like royalty, graceful, composed, picture perfect. But the moment the cameras aren't focused on scripted perfection, something completely different takes over. Chaos. Unfiltered, unpredictable, hilarious chaos. Because the same actress who played princesses, superheroes, and fashion icons also trips in interviews, bursts into uncontrollable laughter, accidentally embarrasses herself in front of A-list celebrities, and turns the most normal situations into full-blown comedic disasters. And the wildest part, she never tries to hide it. Anne Hathaway may look like the definition of elegance and perfection on the red carpet, but behind that glamorous Hollywood image is someone completely chaotic in the most lovable way possible. She is graceful, talented, and sophisticated, yet somehow always finds herself trapped in awkward disasters that instantly turn into comedy gold. That contrast is exactly what makes Anne Hathaway so fascinating to watch. One moment she carries herself like royalty, and the next she is falling over, laughing uncontrollably, or accidentally embarrassing herself in front of millions of people. And instead of hiding those moments, she embraces them with complete honesty, which only makes audiences love her even more. Throughout her career, Anne Hathaway has built a reputation not only as an Oscar-winning actress, but also as one of the most unintentionally hilarious celebrities in Hollywood. During one chaotic moment, she exploded in frustration, shouting, "No, screw you," while trying to recover from an awkward situation. The energy was messy, dramatic, and absolutely hilarious. That perfectly summarizes Anne Hathaway's personality. She may look polished on the outside, but underneath is someone wonderfully human, unpredictable, and incapable of pretending to be flawless all the time. Ironically, the actress who played the elegant Princess of Genovia in the Princess Diaries has always had a complicated relationship with gravity itself. On screen, Mia Thermopolis eventually transforms into a poised and graceful princess, but in real life, Anne Hathaway has always been hilariously clumsy. During interviews, public appearances, and behind-the-scenes footage, she constantly stumbles, trips, or loses control in ways that leave everyone around her laughing. In one unforgettable moment, after nearly falling apart in front of cameras, Anne desperately tried to reassure everyone by saying, everything is fine," even though it was painfully obvious that absolutely nothing was fine. One of the funniest examples happened during the famous bleacher scene in the Princess Diaries. Many fans assumed the painful-looking fall was scripted, but it was actually completely real. Anne genuinely slipped and crashed during filming, shocking the entire crew. For a split second, nobody knew whether to panic or laugh. The accident was so natural and authentic that it ended up becoming one of the most iconic moments in the entire movie. Somehow, Anne's real-life awkwardness perfectly matched Mia Thermopolis' lovable personality, making the scene even more memorable. But Anne Hathaway's chaos is not limited to physical clumsiness. Sometimes it explodes through her personality in the most unexpected ways. During one appearance, she completely destroyed her elegant movie star image by performing a savage comedic rap about paparazzi culture. Instead of acting cool or reserved, Anne fully committed to the ridiculous performance, aggressively rapping with exaggerated confidence and pure chaotic energy. The audience completely lost control laughing as she mocked celebrity photographers in the most over-the-top way imaginable. Most Hollywood stars desperately try to appear sophisticated at all times, but Anne Hathaway is different. She is willing to look silly, awkward, or completely ridiculous if it means entertaining people honestly. That same playful energy followed her onto the set of The Devil Wears Prada. While many expected the filming atmosphere to be intense and intimidating because of legendary actress Meryl Streep, Anne constantly lightened the mood with goofy expressions and chaotic behavior. Behind the scenes, she kept making ridiculous faces that even Meryl Streep struggled to ignore. Despite playing the cold and terrifying Miranda Priestly on screen, Meryl frequently broke character because Anne's antics were simply too funny. Their chemistry became one of the reasons audiences loved the movie so much. Even years later, during award shows and interviews, Anne and Meryl still jokingly referenced Miranda Priestly's iconic lines, playfully roasting each other while fans watched in delight. Then came The Dark Knight Rises, where Anne Hathaway completely transformed herself into Catwoman. The role required intense physical training, discipline, and one of the most demanding fitness routines of her career. On screen, she appeared sleek, dangerous, and impossibly confident. But even during this serious era, Anne still managed to create awkwardly funny moments. During an interview about her training routine, reporters became obsessed with discussing her appearance and body instead of her performance. Questions about weight loss and fitting into the Catwoman suit quickly made the interview uncomfortable. Anne's expression slowly shifted into disbelief as she sarcastically responded, making the entire situation unintentionally hilarious. Once again, she turned an awkward moment into entertainment simply by reacting honestly. Anne Hathaway also proved she has absolutely no fear of looking ridiculous during her unforgettable performance on Lip Sync Battle. While many celebrities choose safe performances, Anne fully committed to recreating Miley Cyrus' Wrecking Ball. She climbed onto a giant wrecking ball, screamed the lyrics dramatically, and swung through the air with complete dedication. The audience exploded with cheers because Anne performed with zero hesitation or embarrassment. She did not care about protecting her image. She cared about giving people an unforgettable moment, and she succeeded completely. Another thing that makes Anne Hathaway endlessly entertaining is her storytelling ability. Whenever she tells a story, she does not simply explain events. She acts them out with full emotional commitment, changing her expressions, voice, and body language until the audience feels completely trapped inside the moment with her. One of the greatest examples came during an appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Anne began telling a simple story about taking her son down a playground slide, but somehow transformed it into what sounded like an action sequence from a survival movie. She described how everything seemed normal at first, until physics suddenly betrayed her. Instead of slowing down like the other children, she and her son accelerated down the slide at terrifying speed. As the slide became faster, Anne dramatically explained how her thoughts slowed down and focused on only one mission: surviving the landing. The audience could barely breathe from laughter because she turned an ordinary parenting moment into cinematic chaos. Anne also once shared a terrifying experience about getting caught in a rip current while swimming in Hawaii. At first, she tried to tell the story calmly, explaining that she was a strong swimmer but could not get back to shore. However, as the story continued, her facial expressions and reenactments revealed just how panicked she truly was. By the end, the audience was simultaneously laughing and stressed because Anne somehow transformed a frightening real-life situation into accidental comedy through her dramatic storytelling style. Perhaps the peak of Anne Hathaway's chaotic energy is her uncontrollable laughter. During interviews and film shoots, she often laughs so hard that entire productions come to a stop. When she starts laughing, everyone around her immediately loses control too. Her laughter is infectious, genuine, and impossible to resist. Cast members, interviewers, and audiences all end up collapsing into chaos with her. Even serious conversations can suddenly spiral into complete disorder because Anne simply cannot hold herself together sometimes. Strangely enough, Anne also seems destined to witness other people's embarrassing moments. Whether someone accidentally screams, falls apart during an interview, or creates awkward chaos nearby, Anne somehow always ends up standing directly beside the disaster. It feels like chaos follows her everywhere she goes, almost like an invisible force. During an appearance on The Graham Norton Show, Anne revealed one of her most embarrassing stories ever. She attended a glamorous Hollywood party and spotted Daniel Craig across the room. Completely starstruck, she panicked internally while trying to decide whether she should introduce herself. But the situation became far worse when she accidentally mistook Daniel Craig for a waiter. The second she realized what she had done, she felt immediate horror and humiliation. The audience burst into laughter because the story perfectly captured Anne Hathaway's awkward charm. Even surrounded by Hollywood elites, she still manages to embarrass herself in the most relatable ways possible. Another reason audiences adore Anne Hathaway is because she is incredibly expressive. She mimics voices, reenacts situations, and tells stories with such vivid detail that people become completely immersed in whatever she is describing. Even random conversations become hilarious performances once Anne starts talking. During interviews, she often becomes so animated and dramatic that entire rooms end up crying with laughter. Even simple things become entertaining when Anne Hathaway is involved. During G1 interview, she confidently explained the correct way to eat a cupcake without getting frosting all over your face. She carefully demonstrated how to split the cupcake in half and turn it into a sandwich so the frosting stays contained. The audience reacted as though she had just revealed a life-changing scientific discovery. Somehow, Anne made eating dessert feel like a major cinematic event. And if there is one thing people should never do, it is challenge Anne Hathaway to a singing battle. The second music starts playing, she transforms completely. Anne screams lyrics with dramatic intensity, throws herself fully into performances, and unleashes chaotic theatrical energy without holding back. Whether she is singing seriously or joking around, she performs with complete commitment every single time. Looking back at her beginnings makes her success even more charming. Anne's first on-screen appearance happened when she was only 14 years old in a commercial. Years later, she hilariously mocked her younger self by saying her face looked like a potato and a chipmunk had a baby. That kind of self-awareness makes her incredibly relatable. Despite becoming one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, Anne Hathaway still talks about herself like an awkward theater kid who somehow accidentally became famous. Even while promoting emotional films, Anne somehow creates comedy without trying. During an interview with Jon Stewart, she attempted to summarize the dramatic plot of her movie Song 1, but the explanation became so unintentionally depressing that both Anne and Jon completely lost control, laughing halfway through. The more serious the plot sounded, the funnier the conversation became. Moments like these perfectly show why Anne Hathaway interviews are always entertaining. She can turn absolutely anything into chaos. One of the most touching parts of Anne Hathaway's life is how openly she talks about motherhood. After having her son, she admitted that losing pregnancy weight was slower and more emotionally difficult than expected. But she also shared heartwarming moments where other celebrities made her feel confident and beautiful during that vulnerable period. Sandra Bullock complimented her appearance, Cate Blanchett praised her outfit, and Rihanna famously looked at her and said, "Damn girl, you got an ass." Anne was completely shocked and thrilled by the compliment, retelling the moment with pure joy and disbelief. Even during major events like the Oscars, Anne Hathaway somehow balances extraordinary talent with accidental comedy. During one ceremony, Hugh Jackman literally carried her onto the stage during a comedy performance. Despite the absurd setup, Anne instantly switched into full performance mode, singing and acting with flawless theatrical energy. Beneath all the chaos, awkwardness, and clumsiness is an incredibly gifted actress and performer. That is the real secret behind Anne Hathaway's success. People may remember the funny moments and embarrassing disasters, but behind all of it is someone genuinely talented, hardworking, and deeply charismatic. After everything, the falls, the awkward interviews, the uncontrollable laughter, the chaotic stories, and the endless embarrassing moments, Anne Hathaway has proven one unforgettable truth. You can become an Oscar-winning actress, walk the biggest red carpets in the world, and appear completely flawless in front of cameras, but no amount of fame or elegance can save you from your own natural clumsiness. And honestly, that chaotic authenticity is exactly why audiences continue to love Anne Hathaway more and more every year. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe right now for more deep dives into Hollywood's most chaotic and unbelievable celebrity moments. And comment below which Anne Hathaway moment made you laugh the hardest.